Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a lore Bard Paladin build guide in Baldur's Gate 3. Now, I've already did a video on the Sword Bard with the Paladin, so I thought I'd go over this here as someone's requesting to mix the Paladin with the Bard. Now, we're going to start off as a Paladin because it has a really good start. It's strong and it's got heavy armor proficiency so you can resist attacks early in the game. And as for our subclass, I think the Oath of Vengeance works best here. We get the Inquisitor's Might, adding our Charisma modifier to radiant damage, and can possibly daze the target. And when they're dazed, it's easier for us to land Hold Person on them. So, for our ability scores, we're going to want to have our, obviously Strength is going to be important, but Charisma as well, and our Dexterity to a certain degree as well. So, if we can get our stats somewhere like this works great. However, you can also use Strength Potions if you'd like, so you can dump your Strength as well and put those points into Dexterity. This would be the stat spread if you're not using Strength Potions, and then if you are using Strength Potions, we're going to go all in on our Dexterity and our Constitution to take it somewhere around there. And then we can put the final, I guess, couple points into our Intelligence. So that's what it's going to look like if we're dumping Strength, but you can use those previous stats if you're not going to use the Strength Potions. The Strength Potions will give us the highest amount of damage overall. So as I said, I've done a Sword Bard build guide. The Sword Bard up to level 10 with 2 levels of Paladin works best, but here, we're going to be going over something a little different. So, defense seems to be one of the best choices for the fighting style. Dueling is nice too, because I'm using the Duelist Prerogative weapon, so I'll be going over what makes that super useful. But as for our prepared spells, I would recommend having all of the smites available because they're just great to have for utility's sake. So, take those: Wrathful Smite, Thunderous Smite, and Searing Smite. Command is another amazing spell, because you can use your Charisma modifier to potentially make a target useless for the turn. And then Bless is a good one if you don't have anything else to choose. So Bless or Shield of Faith. So we go with that there. Early game Bless is really great. You should always have it up on your team. At level 3, we get Vow of Enmity, which we can give advantage to attack rolls against an enemy. We can also use it on ourselves and give ourselves advantage for 10 turns, which is really great. So that is nice. We also get Hunter's Mark, which is great for dealing additional damage to targets. And for our extra spell, I mean, Shield of Faith is a good choice, or even like Divine Favor. But the Paladin's a half caster, so they do get a little bit slower progression in terms of the spells. So yeah, Divine Favor for the next one. As for our feat, you can go with Alert for a +5 to Initiative, but I think taking up our Charisma at 18 is just the best choice here. And then for our next level, we get level 5 extra attack. So this is really nice because this just big power spike in general. We also get level 2 spells, so we can take things like our Magic Weapon and Blinding Smite. 8 is another decent one, but Magic Weapon's pretty good, giving +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls. So we're going to go with that there. And then at next level, I think it's best to actually add in we can go and get the Aura, so this will give us our Charisma modifier a +4 to saving throws, which is really nice. But I think it's best to add in the Bard at this point. As for the cantrips, Vicious Mockery is hilarious. Insult a creature and give disadvantage on the next attack roll. That's huge. Mage Hand's really good. Friends is good too if you're the face of the party, because you can use this to for dialogue options. Although in harder difficulty modes, it can make the enemy hostile. Minor Illusion is also great for grouping enemies together. And as for our spells, I think Healing Word's a great one for bonus action healing from distance. And then we can also go with Vicious or Dissonant Whispers, which can frighten a creature. Does 3d6 psychic damage, which is pretty nice. Thunderwave for the pushback is huge, so we can knock creatures off the ledge. We also have Thunderous Smite, so that's, I guess, 2 options there. But Longstrider is another nice one for increased movement speed by 3 meters. So as for our, you can go with Deception there or Performance, but even Acrobatics, this resists being shoved. And if you're having Stealth, doesn't really make sense here, but yeah, I would go with that for the resistance being shoved. Now, at level 2, we get the Jack of all trades, adding half a proficiency bonus, as well as getting a additional short rest. And we can pick another spell here with something like Sleep's not very good at this part in the game. Disguise Self can be okay, because you can turn yourself into a Gith to get the benefits from Gith weapons, potentially. Now, at level 3, we get to choose our subclass. So, College of Lore, Cutting Words. Use your wit to distract a creature and sap its confidence. You can add a 1d6 penalty to attack rolls, meaning your team's more likely to not get hit. And if we use something like the Duelist Prerogative here, we can get 2 reactions, so we can do this twice. And then as for our spells, I think Invisibility is actually a really good one, just to turn yourself invisible. Some people really like Blade or Clouded Daggers, but we'll go with Invisibility or Heat Metal there. And then for our skills, we can take our acrobatics up to +9. We can also keep, I'd like to have persuasion up as well, performance 2, and then deception, and then maybe something like whatever I guess you prefer out of here. Sleight of hand's not a bad one to have, but we'll go with that there. And then at next level, level 4, we get to choose another cantrip. Mage Hand or Friends is a good choice. Heat Metal is not a bad one, giving disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. Cloud of Daggers is also nice, because you can drop a bunch of poisons on the ground, then break them open with Cloud of Daggers. As for our feat, I think it's best to continue to take our charisma up higher. Although you can go with like Warcaster to hold concentration on your spells, but it does give us a reaction, which we already have one. So at level 5, we get Bardic Inspiration back in long or short rest, and it increases to 1d8. So we have a further penalty on the cutting words there. As for the spell slot, I think Glyph of Warding is a really great choice, because you can use this to pick a damage type and put it on the ground. Plant Growth is also really nice, because if someone's knocked prone, they're stuck in it. So you can go with either of those. And Fear is also another really good spell, so take which one of those that you feel is best. And then at level 6, we get Counter Charm, so allies within 9 meters have advantage on saving throws against being charmed or frightened. And we can take our Fear or Plant Growth, and then we get to choose Magical Secrets. And this is the big plus for us. So 2 really big standouts are Hunger of Hadar and Spirit Guardians, which is exclusive to the Cleric and the Warlock, but also through here. So we can go with those routes, because I think Spirit Guardians is the best choice. We can also go with Radiating Orb build, so if you got the Luminous Armor, it benefits from this, because we can set up Radiating Orbs that way. Hunger of Hadar is huge. Haste is also a good choice. I really like Thunderbolt or Lightning Bolt as well, being cast from our Charisma modifier is really useful. So you can go with Hunger of Hadar. You can go with Call Lightning, even if you want a concentration on that, which I wouldn't necessarily agree with. Hunger of Hadar, though, kind of Spirit Guardians and Hunger of Hadar makes it tricky, because both of these require concentration. So pick which one you prefer, or you can go with both. I'm going to go with Lightning Bolt. Fireball is another good choice, but Lightning Bolt is just a bit more rare, and it can be doubled, so that 48 damage can become 96. And for the final spell level, we can take another level to get greater invisibility, which will turn us invisible. And a nice benefit to this is we can use the Band of the Mystic Scoundrel and cast this as a bonus action after attacking twice. Confusion is another one we can go with, although you can go back to the charisma, or go back to the Paladin and take the Aura Protection, which will give us a +5 to saving throws. Either one of these is a good choice, but I think that the Aura Protection gives a bit more benefit, so yeah, we'll go with that there. And then it keeps, I guess it moves some of the spells that we selected, so we'll reselect those and go on our merry way. Now, what's nice about this is that we can go with some Radiating Orb style options for our damage. I also went with the Duelist Prerogative, because this gives us an extra reaction. We also can deal additional damage using a reaction to do necrotic damage. On our offhands empty, we also score a critical hit on 19. This is also something you could go with, like a two-handed weapon like Sethin or the Baldur Giant Slayer. Baldur Giant Slayer is probably best in slot, but still, it does require a bit more damage there. So we got the Killer Sweeter and Ring of Protection. This gives us a nice 25 armor class. However, if we went with the Band of the Mystic Scoundrel, and then we can also swap this out for like the Coruscation Ring whenever we deal damage while illuminated by a light source. If we have the Gaunter Mail on, that counts as being illuminated by it, so we can go that route. We can also go with something like the Gloves of Belligerent Skies. Whenever we deal damage, we inflict 2 turns of reverberation, so we can stack that up pretty quickly. Or we can also go with the Luminous Gloves. When we deal radiant damage, target receives 2 turns of radiating orbs. I do have the Armor Persistence on, reducing all damage by 2 and giving us resistance and blade ward. However, the Luminous Armor is another nice choice, which I just put in my chest for the moment. Should have left it out there, but this still gives us a nice 24 armor class with all these options here. So typically what we want to be doing in combat is to have our Spirit Guardians up, and that's just going to give us area of effect damage around us. So we have a lot of spells here. Also, we got our Aura Protection, so always have that up there. That's just a nice thing to have up, giving us +5 to saving throws. And then we can go with our... I would recommend the Radiant version, unless there's someone that's reflecting Radiant damage. Because with this, we can also apply our Radiating Orbs. So typically what we want to be doing is going in and Divine Smiting. We have upwards of level 5 spell slots, so not the absolute most, but still a pretty good amount. And then we can attack, critical hit there, apply Radiating Orbs. It's not going to apply them to these attacks because they're our friends, so we're not going to apply them on the Spirit Guardians, but this is pretty strong. You just go around smiting, and it deals a ton of damage, as you can see there. So that is the beauty of this, is the radiating orbs that you can apply, and then you can further apply radiating orbs. Hard to see who I'm attacking there, but yeah, this deals a ton of damage, and then you also have the options for different types of smites. So this is kind of like having the Cleric with Spirit Guardians as well, but you just don't get Spiritual Weapon unless you would have taken it as an option for your magical secrets. So yeah, the best part about this is all the radiant damage and the abilities to buff it up. And then we also get the ability to use Cutting Words too, so that's really nice. With Radiating Orb, we can give a -10 to attack rolls, so that's really big. But as we smite, we're dealing like 20 plus damage on each of these attacks, which is huge. So you can see there, we almost took her out in one smite, so very effective. And there it is, 27, 28 damage. Now, you can also go with Hunter's Mark to further increase the damage that you'll be dealing, so that's another really nice option. And you can also, if you have Summon, I guess I'll start combat this way. We'll go ahead with our cheeky Quasit here, and then we'll start combat just to show what's possible for the damage. So he may run away, he didn't. Nice, so we get to go next. And with this, we can also have our Inquisitor's Might up, giving us extra radiant damage on attacks. But this is what it's going to look like. Applying Radiating Orb there. I ran out of spell slots, so not the best choice there for that. But you can also apply, I'll show you Inquisitor's Might. He has minus to his attack rolls. I lost my Spirit Guardians too, so that kind of stinks. But this will further apply it would have further applied Radiating Orb, but unfortunately I didn't get that off. So yeah, that is a lore bard build guide in Baldur's Gate 3 mixed with the Paladin. So hope you found this video useful, and if you did, please hit the subscribe button below. I'll also link in the description the Sword Bard, which I think is the best. Sword Bard 10 mixed with 2 levels of Paladin, which I think is the best class in the game. So that is also available there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.